All right. So I'd like to get your thoughts on how your set went last week at your show.
Yeah. I wasn't mad about it, but I don't know if this ever happens to you. I did come off where I was just like,
Yeah.
like sometimes you come off and you know you sucked, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you come off and you know that you killed it. Mm-hmm. And then other times you just kind of feel a little uneasy about it. And that's kind of how I felt, which is almost a bad, you know? Obviously everyone's, oh, you did great. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that. I know I didn't do as good as I could have.
Right. And I feel like if it goes great or terrible, you at least learn something.
Well,
if it's
you
just,
hope so.
If it's just meh, if you're just meh, you're like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's the preparing thing. Like I said, though, it's cutting out some of the fat and just delivering funny shit the whole way through. And I think it's easy. The problem is if you're not prepared, you'll start making up stuff and getting wordy while you're up there because you want to fill space.
And I think that's one thing where because I made really no changes from one set to the next, and I've been so damn busy that I didn't change anything, and so I think I went into it kind of cocky, right? And so where I'm not someone that does anything word for word. I mean that's just
right.
That's not how I operate.
Yeah, you want to let it breathe.
And so, but that's all the more importance or all the more reason why I need to tighten it up.
Yeah.
So that I can do it. I need to be practicing so I can do it that way and know where all right, you're getting to where like be able to identify that as opposed to just trying to remember where the fuck I'm going with my set.
Yep. I remember hearing a quote by Jerry Seinfeld, and he said his goal in a joke is to just do it in the fewest amount of words possible.
Right.
For the joke to not lose anything, to not lose its punch or anything like that. And I don't care about being that tight or that clean necessarily, but I do think there's
You've never cared about being that tight.
Ugh.
Oh, there we go.
I had a lot of drinks that night. But I think that if you don't prepare well, you'll start like getting wordy and kind of like it starts to just get loose.
Yeah.
And that's when you get done and you're just like, meh. Whereas if you're tight and getting consistent laughs, it feels better. Bring it closer.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be about a fist away.
All right.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
All right.
I know you know all about fisting.
Oh, I do.
You know? I completely agree. And it's interesting because I feel like, like I said, I hate coming off uneasy. That's almost worse to me than bombing. Right? Because at least I knew I sucked.
Yeah.
Right?
And well, you learn something that way. That's what I mean.
Uneasy, like you kind of go back and forth. Like, are these compliments real or are they just being nice? And then it lives in your head a little bit longer.
Yep. So are you gonna write new stuff now and go do it again?
You gave me some very helpful tips right after as far as some ways to tighten it up. So I think I'm gonna work on some of those jokes. I think I'm gonna cut some other stuff and probably write a new couple minutes at the end and see where that goes. But yeah.
Yeah, I like doing it that way because you can tighten up some stuff and add some new things that'll give you a little extra juice because you're going to be doing something new, but you still got an anchor of stuff that you know well.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to do it. The show that I'm doing Sunday is going to be all completely brand new, so I'm flying without a net. No one's ever going to have heard it before I do it then. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. And
this Sunday?
This Sunday, and I get more time because this isn't one of those open mic 5 minutes. This is
right.
4 or 5 guys doing the whole deal, so it should be pretty good. I'm thinking I'm going to get maybe 7 to 10, so I'm excited. I think I've settled in on the content, and now it's just a matter of kind of tightening it up and working different angles.
Any sneak peeks on any of the content, or?
Yeah, sure. So it's a couple of
by
things.
the time we publish this, you'll be
won't even
be done with it. So.
But one of the things I've been thinking about for a little while is you grow up thinking that you're like this tough guy, that you're hard, that you're capable, and all these things as a guy, and your ego kind of drives all of that. And then you watch a show about like the frontier days, and I realize I'm a giant pussy. Like those guys were men. You know what I mean? Like back then, you had to have some life skills, dude. Like if you couldn't farm a hunt, you weren't fucking eating. Can't build a house, you're homeless. You know what I mean? There's not like, and I don't, I'm not a handy guy. So every time I see those shows, I like compare myself to them. I'd be fucked.
See, that's one difference between you and I. I was a pretty late bloomer. And so when I got my learner's permit, when I was 15 and a half, I lied and said I was 5 foot flat. Right? So, yeah, there wasn't, compared to my younger brothers, I was a tough guy, but that's a pretty low benchmark. But, yeah, that wasn't that wasn't necessarily something that I thought a whole lot until a little later, Well, and then still more of something I told myself.
I think I was lying to myself.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to believe it.
No, yeah, it was positive affirmations.
Yeah. Then you watch something like you watch that show 1883, and that's kind of how it started, right?
I haven't watched that yet,
dude. It's just about what life was like in Yellowstone, Montana,
right.
150 years ago, 140 years ago, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, it looks pretty hardcore in today's day and age.
Right. And so imagine back then, dude, like these guys had to do fucking everything, dude. I can't do shit. Like you had to hunt, you had to farm, you had to do some shit. The closest I come to farming is making a salad at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
That's about as much into the vegetation as I'm getting, right? I'm not.
Is that part of your joke?
Yeah.
Is that one of your punchlines?
I wrote that one in.
Yeah, that's
and it's like
one.
I've never been a camping guy. I've never been much of an outdoor guy. I'm not great with guns. You know what I mean? And I would have just had a rough fucking time. So I was like, I picture like a group of cowboys kind of like sitting out around a campfire and they're drinking whiskey and playing guitar and singing songs and cooking the critter they just shot a couple hours earlier, right?
Yeah,
cowboy shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
And then I picture myself with no skills, like hiding behind a rock, just kind of watching them. Like, I'm cold and hungry.
Yeah.
Can I have some of your rabbit? I'll suck your dick. Like, I'd had to figure out some new ways to survive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's my reputation now. You know what I mean? Now I'm out on the range out here sucking dicks. You know what I mean?
Dicks for rabbit meat.
Yeah, and then for rabbit meat. Like
if that's part of your set, that's how that
is. It is. Yeah. It's and then the townspeople are talking about you, right? Because word gets around, right? And I picture these guys in the saloon like, so you're heading out tomorrow? Yeah, me and the boys are hitting the trail at first light. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for Ryan the dick-sucking cowboy. Rumor has it he'll blow your posse for a can of beans. I just had to come up with some clever ways because I can't hunt, you know what I mean? And you can't live that down. How will I know him when I find him? He wears his dungarees like ladies' underwear. So yeah, that's one of the things I've been thinking about. I'm soft. I'm just spoiled,
Yeah. Aren't we all?
I just can't imagine how it was like to try to do anything back then. I go to Home Depot and I get nervous, let alone fucking out on the frontier back in the day, I'm just... And I think I know where the scarediness comes from with me. I lived with my grandparents for a while when I was a kid, and, I'm not a religious guy necessarily, but my grandmother was.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things the very first thing I remember learning when I was a kid was a prayer that she made me memorize when I was little, and every night we would say it together. And here's how the prayer went. Lord, keep me safe this night, secure from all my fears. May angels guard me while I sleep till morning light appears.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking comforting to a kid. Like, are you serious? Forget the boogeyman or the monster under the bed. What fucking kind of biblical battle is happening when I close my eyes that I need a team of bodyguard angels? You know what I mean? And then they wonder why I'm standing at the end of the bed clutching my teddy bear, can't sleep. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, what's wrong? Can't you sleep? Well, yeah, Graham. Evidently, there's a demonic war happening in my fucking bedroom after you tuck me in. And I'm freaking out. So why don't you two scooch and let me slide in here? You know what I mean? And then those crucifixes, I go into their room. They got a crucifix of Jesus on the wall, right? Doing his. I'm like, fuck it. I'm sleeping in the woods. This shit's scary. I'm out of here. Fuck it. So I think that's kind of where it started. I'm not here to shit on anybody's religion, but I do kind of feel like some of that stuff is kind of scary to a kid. Those stories and prayers can be a bit heavy.
Yeah, I was Mormon growing up. I get it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. That's what I was dealing with on steroids, right?
Yeah.
But like, some of those prayers are just weird. And you kind of think about it. Yeah. As an adult, you don't give a shit. As a kid, it's fucking scary.
Well, as a Mormon, you don't just have to worry about the demons. You got to worry about the prophet, marrying your wife.
Whole different set of problems.
Sending you on a mission and marrying your wife.
It's fucking awesome. And everybody's got their own stories about it, right? And the whole thing. But like, Catholic, Methodist, all that shit. It's all kind of that haunting, some hell and brimstone, guilty, scared shit. That's what I couldn't that's the part that kind of fucked with me. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of do my own spirituality. I want to deal with that shit.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. So the prayers kind of fucked with me, and that one was like, and she made me memorize it. Like every night we would say that. And then she'd leave, and I'm sitting there fucking wide-eyed, terrified of the demons in my room, you know. And then I think the one other thing that I wanted to touch on in the set was I believe that there is a bit of a double standard that women have around
just one.
One particularly around oral sex.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
And the idea is that, like, you know, women aren't really a big fan if they're kind enough to give you a blowy, and you try to little push down on the head a little bit, get a little greedy, right? See what you can get away with.
We've been there.
Not big fans of that. They're not big fans.
Okay.
However, when we're going down on them, they will vice grip your fucking head to keep you in place. And you're not moving. Women get super strength when they're about to orgasm. They get incredibly strong, right? In fact, there's not even a real thing that's.
I don't know if I can sit next to Kat during this set, but
I don't even think male pattern baldness is a real thing. I think it's just a dude who's gone on enough fucking She-Hulks that his hair follicles are gone. So, ladies, when you see a bald guy, don't feel sorry for him. High five that motherfucker. Shake his hand. He's put in work.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now, what about when you're talking about saying the same prayer over and over? You know, that you're scared and this, that, and the only thing you had to come up with, or I don't know, how did I had something in my head, but I lost it.
A joke about it?
Yeah. Well, basically calling it a spell.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like I didn't have any fears in my mind until you gave them to me.
Yeah, the word for word prayer that you say over and over again. You know,
it is like a spell. Like you're talking yourself into some shit. It's like affirmation.
Turning into Harry Potter.
Yeah. Sitting there with a little stick. Protect me while I sleep. Like, fuck the boogeyman and all of that. That's scary. Like, there's demons, angels and demons battling for my eternal soul. I'm trying to make it to fucking sunrise.
Yeah.
And you're just going to shut me in a room and be like, see you in the morning. Get the fuck out of here. Someone better let me come snuggle.
I do remember being really scared of nothing.
Yeah, you're
growing
fears.
up, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean, that was
your
a real,
mind plays tricks on
thing.
you. Yeah.
Like, you know, legitimately afraid of everything.
Yeah, you see a
or
shadow.
Nothing. Actually, more afraid of nothing.
Yeah.
Than everything else. Like, you know, I'd fucking pick up a scorpion that was walking up the wall with my bare hands, but a dark room where there's nothing in there but me. I'm scared to fucking death of.
I fucking hate scorpions. They look like little alien monsters.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Your imagination is so crazy as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And like my thing was like my old man would because my folks were divorced, so my dad would let me do whatever the fuck I wanted to earn my love. Right?
Sure.
I always got the good gifts at Christmas and shit. You know what I mean? He was getting me the bike or, you know, the video game thing or like whatever.
It's a good dad.
Yeah, it's a good dad. It's what divorced dads do. So he would let me get away with shit. And he'd be like, you know, there'd be a scary movie on. I'd be like, do you want to watch this? And he'd let me make that decision.
Okay.
And so I'd be like, well, yeah, you know, so you're watching like Jaws or Exorcist or some shit like that, pretending like I can swing it, like I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't want to be a pussy like that night when I'm trying to sleep. So like I'm just laying in the dark freaking out because I shouldn't have watched the goddamn movie, but I did, trying to be a man.
Yeah.
And now I'm terrified and I'm going to have nightmares for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened a lot. I'm amazed I sleep yet.
Last Halloween, I went home a little toasty, and we went trick-or-treating and everything, and then set up there. We had a lot of kids in our neighborhood. A lot. Like, it's easier just to sit in front of the house and hand out candy. So
was it a Mormon neighborhood with like lots of big families?
Tons,
and shit? Yeah.
tons. I mean, literally the whole
thousands of kids on the street.
Yeah, the whole street is just packed.
That makes it fun on Halloween, though.
It is. So yeah, so we did brought the fire pit around, put it in the driveway.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And then sat out there with two of my kids, and then we had a projector on the garage, and asked kids, "Hey, what do you want to? What about Nightmare on Elm Street?"
Yeah,
you know, sure. Seems like a neighborhood appropriate movie.
Yeah, why
on a
we watch
kid's
that?
night.
Yeah. Let's watch the demon with razor blades. A
little bit of violence and nudity. Who cares?
Big deal. And it's all about your sleep and your nightmares. Like they literally prey on the fact that people have nightmares. That's what the movie is.
That's right. Yeah.
When you go to sleep, you're fucked.
Oh, as a kid, I can remember my parents wouldn't let me watch that. And I can remember just from the case of the video at Blockbuster was scary enough to me that like
just a picture.
Yeah, that was what I was afraid of when I went in my room alone, right? Like demons and Freddy Krueger.
Right. He was a scary looking motherfucker back then.
Yeah.
What's the scariest movie you think you ever saw in your life?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because once you've seen it a few times, right? And
but as a kid, what was like, holy shit, that was like
you're gonna make fun of me. I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of scary movies.
All right.
And so, you know what scared the hell out of me was Clue.
The game? The board game.
The board game is a movie.
The board game terrified you.
I was so afraid of...
Motherfucker, I watched Exorcist.
I was so yeah, I didn't watch that until I was probably 17. But no, it scared the hell out of me. That's why I'm trying to expose my kids to some scary shit now.
Yeah, you got to let them toughen up.
You know?
You got to let them toughen up. Exorcist had a profound effect on me because that demonic shit fucks with me.
Yeah.
And maybe it's that whole going back to religion thing that I was talking about. You know, if you believe in that, and I think that's it within the realm of possibility, that's pretty frightening shit.
Yeah.
You know, the monsters and all that, I don't give a fuck about that. That demonic shit scares me.
Yeah.
There's that movie out now that's kind of like a new version of Exorcist. It's called, The Pope's Exorcist.
Okay.
With
I haven't seen
what's his fucking it, and it's a newer.
See, I don't have normal TV like you.
Oh,
like you get a chance to see all these things, but like you know, I'm not 110 years old, so I've given up on cable.
Yeah, and like that's the only scary movies that like the slasher shit. Don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get something about like some sort of demonic possession type shit. I'm like, fuck this. But it also intrigues me because it will scare me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, once football season's over, I stop watching commercials. So that's their window of opportunity.
No, I get it. And then I saw Jaws as a kid, and to this day, if I can't see in the water, I don't fucking like it.
I did watch Jaws.
Like, I don't like it. That shit freaks me out.
Actually, when I was in Mexico last week, I did swim in the ocean at night, and I was a little nervous.
Oh yeah, dude. My heart would be racing.
Yeah,
I might do it, but it would scare the shit out of me.
I didn't want to look like a pussy because I went down there saying I was going to fucking do it.
Well, that's what Jaws happened. You see the kids are out swimming, knowing they shouldn't be there, and all of a sudden they're a fucking bobber going up and down because he's chewing legs off.
I was nervous. Well, and you've never been to Rocky Point.
No.
So it.
Am I the only person in Phoenix who hasn't been to Rocky Point?
Yes, you are, and Kat. But so they have the second largest tide influx out of anywhere in the world.
What do you mean tide influx?
So from high tide to low tide.
Oh,
the influx. So what that?
Do you mean the difference in high tide and low tide, or do you mean how often it happens? Or something?
No, the difference.
Okay.
So it happens twice a day anywhere where there's an ocean.
Yeah, I got you. The moon thing. I got you. Yeah, I'm with you. That sounded ridiculous. I'm with you. But you're saying the difference between high tide and low tide is huge.
Yeah, like on one side of it, like over in Choya Bay and stuff, it's like 7.5 miles. Like there'll be a place where it's water all the way, and then like 2 hours later, there's kids running across to get to their friend's house.
Oh shit.
Like it's crazy.
That is shit.
Wild.
That is crazy.
But even over on like the Sandy Beach side, right? It gets deep so slow. Like I was again, nighttime, and I said I would go out there and swim. So I'm like waiting for it, and I'm like 150 yards into the water, and it's still like barely passing my penis. Like
the word penis.
Yeah, it's always
anytime
funny.
a dude uses the word penis, I'm like, am I at the doctor's office? Like that's the only time you hear a dude say penis.
Yeah. One of the funniest conversations I ever had was with I don't know if it's a baby urologist or when, but when my son was getting circumcised.
You mean it was just a very young urologist?
No.
Because that would be weird.
Walks in a little suit.
Yeah, Doogie Howser's got nothing on him.
No. So he's explaining in very graphic and hilarious detail, like exactly what he's gonna do to circumcise my son, and like I'm being just, the pillar of maturity. I'm laughing my fucking ass off, and like he's like looking at me like,
really?
Yeah, like
really,
like just the ultimate look of disappointment that like someone let you have a kid
Yeah, you shouldn't.
This is what abortions are for.
Yeah, this shouldn't be happening right now. The kid had a kid. Dude, I went to a bris. I saw how they do that.
Oh, well, no. I made the mistake of watching it.
Me too. It's a goddamn torture device.
I would never, even after he explained, the problem was what he told me I thought sounded so funny because he kept saying like
you didn't realize it was
the
serious.
head of the penis and all this stuff and this and that and the foreskin. I just, again, yeah, not being very mature. I thought it was hilarious. And then I witnessed it.
It's horrifying.
And it was like, what's funny is he said, so first he talks about like putting the shot in the head of the penis.
Oh my God.
Right?
That sentence is jarring.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, and then you watch it. But he goes, and after that, it will numb it substantially. And he's not going to feel a thing as soon as I start cutting the foreskin around, right? And I was like, okay, so, old boy's not going to feel this after. It's just, the shot is the painful part, right? So my son screamed with the shot, okay?
Was he pissed that you waited until he was 14 to do it?
As a 4-day-old baby, okay? Can't even roll over,
Just taking a needle to the dick.
When they started scalping around, okay? I watched him arch all the way up on his heels and the back of his head.
Thought you said he wasn't going to feel anything, Doc.
And screaming to the point where his tongue's just fucking doing one of these.
Oh
it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I said on that day, if I have another kid,
If I have another boy, you're keeping the skin.
We're keeping it. Fuck it.
Turtleneck for you.
Yeah.
Turtleneck dick for you.
Hey, take an extra 5 seconds in the shower, bud. It's not worth this.
Peel that back and get after it. Dude, that is horrifying. When I went to a bris and saw it happen, I was not prepared. I knew what was happening and I was uncomfortable, but I wasn't prepared for how bad it was going to be.
You're a human.
When they put that little medieval fucking torture device on them.
Yeah.
And then they start trimming. It looks like when my grandmother used to make pies back in the day and there was too much crust on the top and they just started cutting that. That's what it reminded me of.
Well, do you remember the really so not do you remember? Well, you might remember, but in the medieval times, the helmets, the metal helmets, it kind of
that's what it looks like.
That's
exactly what it looks like. And then they screw that guy down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just that.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and then they started doing it, and like I said, as a baby, up like that, it was insane.
That's fucking terrible. How about people that will convert as adults and get a circumcision done? How much money would it take if you weren't circumcised? I'm assuming you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not an animal.
Yeah, I'm not.
And my dad obviously fucking hated us because he kept circumcising the rest of our boys too.
How much money would it take for you to get circumcised as an adult, assuming that you weren't? Would you do it for $1 million?
Yeah.
100 grand?
Probably. I mean, because you're really looking at one absolutely terrifying, damaging day. And I've done a lot more for a lot less,
That I get.
I get it.
Just the thought of it, as a guy, there's your mission number one, priority number one, protect your dick. Don't get kicked in the nuts. Don't hurt your dick.
It's true.
Right? Don't Lorena your bob it your way into some bad relationship and be dickless.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just the thought of voluntarily dick trimming.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's rough.
But at the same time, it's something that you abuse,
Yeah, beat the shit out of it. You're right. I'm just mad. I'm mad.
Yeah. It's the dog that I hate.
Yeah. Just, kick him when he's down.
Especially when he's down.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck's... And so, if the bris is just the worst thing ever, everyone knows.
It is.
Why are we making it a fucking function?
What about...
It's a party. They make it a party and bring people into it. Why would you do that?
All of my knowledge of a brisk comes from an episode of Seinfeld.
Is it a brisk or a bris?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Bris. B-R-I-S?
I don't know how to spell.
So it's not like a brisket.
Yeah, it's not like brisk. It's not like it's not fast. It actually looks like it's slow, which is what brisk means.
Yeah. Okay.
Or cold. Brisk means cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a brisk pace too. I think that could be. I think it could be fast.
Right.
Multi-use word, but so my only knowledge or experience of that sort of thing comes from, like I said, one episode of Seinfeld. Who is the person that is supposed to hold the baby? Because that was what Jerry was supposed to do. He was supposed to hold the baby, and then the Moyle, who's the circumciser,
A circumciser.
was supposed to come and cut the head off the penis, right? And then,
Cut the head off the penis?
well, the
skin.
the skin,
Okay.
yeah, not the head.
Okay.
You know,
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is a whole fucking... I didn't see that Seinfeld
They
episode.
showed that on
I didn't see...
Seinfeld?
They're just cutting dicks off on Seinfeld. Number one show in the history of television, just chopping off dicks.
yeah, and the whole time Kramer's like, it's a barbaric ritual. What are you doing?
Terrible. Who started this?
Yeah.
I'm always wondering
No,
about the
that's a
first guy
valid
that does
point.
some shit.
Yeah.
Whose idea was, that skin,
Hey.
what we should do
Yeah.
is
You know?
just cut some of that shit.
That's kind of unsightly on the most sensitive part of your body.
How
Let's
the
just
fuck did that start?
cut it off.
See, it's going to be another religious thing. It keeps
Yeah.
coming back to just religion doing crazy shit, right?
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
yeah.
I guess that's why they do it.
Kramer asked Elaine what she thought, and she said, "Off with his head." So, yeah, it was a good episode. I'm
Yeah.
surprised you haven't seen it.
Maybe I did, to be honest. I love that show.
It's really not that great of an episode, most realistically, but yeah, talking about it's funny because penises. So
Seinfeld, I remember reading something about Seinfeld. At the height of that show, and what was that, in the 90s? When was Seinfeld big, in the 90s?
yeah.
He was getting...
So you were what, in your 70s?
Yeah, I was about 74 when that show came out. Seinfeld was making $5 million an episode
I thought it was 9
back then. Oh, was it 9?
at the end. Yeah,
$9 million an episode.
An episode.
I know he made so much money. So Seinfeld's a big car guy, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And he's
Seen comedians in cars getting coffee.
I think he's a Porsche guy, but he has a lot of cars.
Yeah.
And he had enough money. Parking's obviously a problem in New York where he lives. So his way to solve the problem was he bought the building next to him, an apartment building, and just turned it into his own private garage.
Good for him.
To store
You know?
like 50
good for
fucking
him.
cars. Had an elevator to bring the cars down.
What I love about Jerry Seinfeld is he's an absolutely horrible actor,
yes.
and he was paid $9 million an episode, even if it's 5.
Right.
Maybe you're right.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was 9 though. $9 million an episode to be the worst actor, not just on the show, but on primetime TV.
Of all television. Same look on his face, every scene.
Doesn't even have to be
all the
primetime.
time. Happy, shocked, sad, same look. To just be like, what's going on with the peanuts?
But it was hilarious.
Just the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started getting into Curb Your Enthusiasm, because what's better than Jerry Seinfeld? R-rated version of Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Which is what
100%.
Curb Your Enthusiasm was, right?
Yeah, you keep telling me to watch that, and I never did.
Oh, dude,
So-
it literally is rated R Seinfeld. It's Larry David, the writer from
I
Seinfeld.
have a hard time getting into new shows.
Yeah, it's fucking great because it's all that weird awkwardness that Seinfeld was. Only it's rated R with adult subject
Yeah.
matter, which just makes it amazing.
And being able to use profanity.
Dude,
you know?
cuss. There's I
Yeah.
think some nudity and some shit, and it's literally
Oh,
just
maybe I will watch it.
yeah. And it's well, and the cool thing about it is,
You're trying to explain how funny it was.
well,
You know, you
like
didn't say it
the
was nudity.
actors play themselves on the show, like, and it's
Okay.
about like real. It's
Kind of like 30 Rock.
yeah, it's like that.
I do love Alec Baldwin's character in that.
Yeah, 30 Rock was
Is
good.
one of the most amazing people
Yeah,
of all time.
I get into that for a little while.
And I get that they're making fun of Republicans,
100%.
but I still love it.
It's still fun.
I still love it.
But dude, if you liked Seinfeld, you will love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
show.
Yeah. And one of these days, I'm gonna. What's it on now? Do you know what streaming platform it's on?
I don't.
It was on. I think it was on Netflix or Hulu.
It was an HBO show in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
then I don't know if it's on anything. Then
I'm guessing all that shit's all that.
it's somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
And I have all of them.
Yeah.
So
It's on Netflix or Hulu
yeah.
or some kind
See, I
of
talk shit about paying for cable, but I pay for, Netflix, Disney, Hulu, ESPN, fucking Peacock, HBO Max.
There's so many
Oh, it might be
goddamn-
on HBO Max.
There you go. There's so many fucking streaming things.
And
to get.
and a dozen others
Yeah.
that my fucking kids subscribe to.
And I still have cable.
That I
So,
pay
like,
for.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally fucking myself. I've
Yeah.
got 8 billion cable channels and all these streaming things.
You've been fucking yourself for years, though.
Oh, that's true.
Not just that one.
That's true.
but, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how they fucking get you. They come out with one great show that
Yeah.
you're into, and it's on
Yeah.
a different fucking platform than everything else. It's
Right.
Apple TV sucked me in because of Ted Lasso,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I realized Apple TV actually had a bunch of good shows that I got into. All at one
I
time.
never turn on Apple TV. I don't even know if I have it. That might be the one that I don't have.
Yeah, Lasso's good, dude.
But-
I like Lasso a lot, and then I found a couple other ones that were really good too. There's a show Shrinking that I really like, and a couple on there.
Shrinking.
Yeah.
You can relate to that.
Yeah. It's cold water.
Oh,
Speaking of Seinfeld.
Your pool's drained, too.
Do women know about shrinkage? And then Paramount gets you with 1883 and Yellowstone.
That's another
and all
one that I
that
have.
shit. Yeah.
Well, but Paramount Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it only has like one. Last time I checked, so I watched Yellowstone on Peacock.
Okay. Yeah.
But because Paramount only had like one season.
Paramount's got the spin-offs.
Last time I checked.
Paramount's got 1923 and 1883.
That's how they really fuck you.
That's
the cross sell.
Dude, those shows are so good though.
Yeah.
Like they're both better than Yellowstone, and I love Yellowstone.
Both 1883 and what else?
There's another one called 1923,
Of course there is.
course there is.
No, I have seen that actually.
and they're both
I gotta
better than
watch
Yellowstone.
1883 first.
1883 is amazing.
Okay. All right.
It just makes me feel like an incapable princess
turn it on
when I
this
see these
weekend.
cats driving cattle in the mountains.
I might need to watch Mandalorian this weekend, and then maybe I'll start 1883.
Then I went to Montana one time, outside of Yellowstone-ish.
You've been to Yellowstone though, right? Like the park?
No, I didn't go through the park. So I just went on an elk hunt. I went on an executive elk
There you
hunt.
go.
All right, now picture the city kid.
Yeah.
Never really, I mean, I've shot a gun, I don't know, 20 times in my
But
life.
you're kind
right?
of a brute. You're a
Yeah,
big guy.
I look like I should be able to hunt, but I can't.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I mean,
So-
you used to have the full beard too.
Yeah, I did. I look like I'm
And you
built
wore
for-
a lot of flannels.
Yeah, and I'm big.
Yeah.
I'm built for the mountains.
Yeah.
I'm insulated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I got to do this. Like, when am I ever going to go on a fucking elk hunt? They call it an executive elk hunt, meaning I got a guide who knows this area really, really well.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and so we go there. And what I realized is an elk hunt in Montana is sitting your ass in the fucking mountains
Oh, yeah.
freezing.
Oh.
Freezing. It was 5 days of freezing in November.
See, that's not what I picture
7,000
an
7,000
executive.
feet up.
I think you guys got ripped off. Like,
Some guy's like, yeah, sit on this rock. Elk could be down there.
Like-
$6,000.
yeah. No, I think you guys got ripped off. Like, I know some people who have gone on some guided hunts in Wyoming where it's like you fly in for it, you get the out-of-state permit and all that shit. But they're like, yeah, I mean, the problem was it was like a 4-day hunt. We shot that shit in like an hour. Like, we just drove up to it. They were sitting there. Because I didn't even really have to get out of the truck, but it felt like...
Is it weird that you went hunting in a petting zoo? You just walked up there, just sitting there, like, hey. But dude,
And then they were people, not animals.
yeah. I like animals better than people anyway. Fuck them. But we go hunting, and there's a couple of different groups, and you stay in a really nice cabin, and they take care of everything.
Yeah.
The
No,
license.
same type of thing.
Dude, we go out in the morning and come back, and there are like 3 or 4 elk hanging on this rack, and like everybody got one.
Yeah.
But me.
Okay.
But me.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you eat like a god in these lodges, dude. They got meat for days.
Sure.
It's like, you know.
Well, I mean, you're not a big gun guy, though.
No,
either.
I'm not a huge gun guy. Like, I like shooting them. I'm
You
not
don't have a
I'm not
problem
a
with
hunter.
them, but
yeah, I'm not a
you're just-
hunter.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's my thing. I've got some sort of quandary with the whole thing, but like, I like going out and shooting guns. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just not a. I'm not.
You remember
I'm
when
not
I
a
used
killer.
Remember when I used to go out and blow all that shit up with
Yeah.
the tannerite?
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal anymore.
The hand cannon when you had the judge.
Oh yeah. I used to keep that in my truck.
Dude, that thing literally looked like a cannon you could hold on to. I don't think I'm strong enough to lift that fucking thing.
Fucking shotgun
Jesus
shells.
Christ, it shot missiles.
Well, you remember I had the one like self-defense round where it had 2 hollow point 40 calibers in it, and then it had a slug, or not a slug, whatever, like a ball, like what would go in like a musket, and then a bunch of buckshot in between.
Now that's the kind of gun I can
Like,
shoot, a musket.
yeah,
That's what they had when I was a
would-
kid.
Yeah, you're used to that. Yeah, that's a good motion for you.
Yeah. That's why I was so good at it. I can pack your gun. I'll pack everybody's guns.
I got it, guys.
I got everybody. No, bring your gun over here.
No, but I mean that was the type of gun that would like cut someone's fucking head off. You know, it was crazy.
Dude, that thing was scary.
Yeah.
I saw the bullets that go in that thing.
I sold that to a guy who, I mean, he's probably a little less than stable with a gun like that. But I also bought it from a guy that was even less stable.
Well, yeah, that's what
I bought it
happens.
from. You remember who I bought it from?
No,
Previt.
he is not stable. That is an unstable dude. Dude, those bullets were so big they had USA painted down the side of them. You could launch that to fucking North Korea.
Yeah.
So we go to this Montana hunt, dude, and it's like, dude, if you killed something there, they had it set up so well. It's
Right.
like the second you shot something, they gave you 2 forms. How do you want to do the taxidermy?
Yeah.
Right? You want the American fucking mount, you want the European mount, and then just the other thing was
Which one's the back end?
yeah, right. I'll keep that piece. No, we don't need to mount that. I'll just take that home. And then the other part of it was, what kind of meat do you want? And that was fucking awesome because my buddy shot one when we went up there, and fucking elk is like 300 pounds of meat.
What? Probably more.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
The animals are like
They're huge.
700 to 900 pounds.
Fucking huge. Yeah, but by the time
Like for the male.
Yeah.
The men.
The
male.
Not 700 pounds.
Right. The bulls. Yeah, they're massive. I mean, they're literally like a cow.
Fucking massive.
Yeah.
And
you don't realize how tall they are or anything.
And you're
until
checking
you
how
see
much
it.
meat you want. And it's like, I want this many steaks and burgers, and they're getting sausage and fucking.
So they butchered it all for you too.
They do everything, dude. And then they flash freeze it and send it to you in a giant thing. So
Like
like
$5 to $7 grand is not a bad deal.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's a pretty sweet setup.
You're getting $2,000 or $3,000 worth of meat.
For sure. If you
Right?
get something, you're getting meat. And we shot
Though wasn't this like 50 years ago?
No, this is no. It was like probably 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But he got my buddy, the same dude, shot like a muley deer and a whitetail, but the elk is just.
Oh, you
such
could buy multiple tags.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
teed
fuck
us
yeah.
all up,
Oh, nice.
and these ranches would have like an agreement where you could hunt on each other's land.
Right.
So you could just go all, what they call it, an easement or something, but you could go all over and do that shit.
Yeah.
But what I learned is, it's some fucking work hunting. I'm thinking you're sitting there, you're chilling,
Oh.
you're having some coffee or fucking a beer
Oh,
or whatever,
yeah.
and then bang, and dude, we were getting up at fucking
That's if you and I
3
go
o'clock.
hunting.
Yeah, right. We were getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And they feed you gigantic breakfast because you're going to be out. And then we're coming.
You're all sluggish.
And then we're just climbing mountains.
Yeah.
Climbing mountain with gear. You know what I mean? And in the woods, getting smacked in the face
No
with fucking.
chair to sit on.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's just
so cold.
like a fucking animal.
The wind's ripping through. You're a mile in the fucking air. Like it
Well,
was.
yeah. I mean, Montana in the fall
Dude, Jesus Christ.
/ winter.
Dude, it was crazy. And you'd hear the
Fuck
wolves just
that.
fucking calling out. And then
Yeah.
when we shot something, I watched this dude field dress the elk, right? Just cut the intestines out and the whole
That's
thing.
intense.
Dude,
He started the beehole?
Started
Yeah.
the beehole.
Yeah.
And just opened that fucker up, pulled out the whole sack. They called it a wolf sack.
You were pretty pissed about him cutting that beehole open.
Yeah,
weren't
exactly.
you?
Hey, give me a minute. Just give me a minute before
I'll
we
give
open
you some
this
room
fucker
to
up.
get your knife in there.
Why do you think I'm here? You guys came to hunt. I came to fuck.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
But yeah, it was quite the experience, man.
Yeah, we're going dark on this one.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
We can cut that out if it's too weird.
No. I mean, someone's going to have to edit it.
Yeah.
Sorry, TJ.
Yeah. This is the part about elk fucking.
It's all a joke. No one's serious.
Dude, so when we were leaving, when I was leaving this camp to go back to the airport, we were driving by flatbed trucks that must have had 40 fucking dead elk just laying on top of them. It was
Just because it's overpopulated.
everywhere.
Right?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Like, yeah.
And they got these rules. What I thought was fascinating is they've got these rules. You can shoot like 15 minutes before sunup and then 50 minutes after sundown. Like that's it. And these elk know when you can shoot because
Right.
they're hanging out right until it's gun time and then they're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they know exactly when it's no gun time at night and they're all out again and you can't shoot those fuckers.
Well, my parents, since they've moved to North Dakota, the amount of wildlife there is out of this fucking
More
world.
than the people. That's what
Right?
where there's about 26 people in North
That's
Dakota.
right. Yeah, there are 2 of them. But yeah, and like my dad said, he goes, look, if you came here, you'd fill every tag you want to.
In one afternoon.
And you wouldn't have to go much more than 20 feet out of my truck. He said,
Again, petting zoo.
like, yeah, like you want a buffalo, a deer, an elk, all in one day? I got you.
Dude, buffalo would be awesome.
Yeah.
I love me some
But
bison
that's
meat.
another thing that, yeah, I mean, you think about the meats that you're used to, right? Like venison,
Caucasian.
venison takes a little bit of a not getting used to even, but it's sometimes it's depending on the deer, right? Somewhat gamey. It can be gamey, right? Because they don't have as much fat on them, right? And depending on how it's prepared, depending on how it's butchered, all these things. But elk and bison, shit, Like that's the meat that we're used to.
Yeah.
Like you can get normal meats out of something like that, and steaks that are amazing.
Dude,
you know,
elk steaks, awesome.
Yeah.
Bison meat, awesome.
yeah.
I mean, that's what we make burgers out at home. We eat a ton of bison.
Do you?
Yeah, it's rich.
Nice.
It's rich. It's delicious.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just buy whatever's in the frozen patties from Costco.
Yeah, there you go.
Burgers.
Well, they've got, their meat department's
And
not
I try to use that for most of my ground meat needs, you know?
my girl meat needs. I figured you're going Dexter and just killing people.
You know, if they're a third of a pound, you need a pound of beef or something, grab 3 burgers. Like, why do I need to buy multiple things at the store? Fuck.
I like where your head's at.
You know?
Just one wheelbarrow of ground meat.
It's all the same meat, theoretically, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
it just... And plus, like, 95 of them come in a pack at Costco. So, we got plenty. I don't need to buy this and a little thing from the butcher. Like, I got it.
I think your theory
I
is
got
sound.
half a cow in here.
I think your theory is sound.
You know?
I like it.
If I need to get a dolly to get it out of my vehicle and into the house, that's plenty of meat. You know?
Yeah, that makes me think of the other thing that I loved about this ranch in Montana was they'd bring these gators up to come get the fucking thing. Because you'd hear these stories about these guys that are cutting these things and then dragging them down the mountain. Like these guys would bring a gator that they would like winch and just pull the thing up.
I was hoping like alligators.
No.
I was like,
So it's
that's
called a
kind
gator.
of cold for
Yeah,
them.
I
I
didn't
know
know.
exactly what you're talking about. Sorry.
But they'd bring this thing
That's
down
me
and
being
winch
dumb.
this thing in and lift it in and just drive this fucking
Did you
four-wheeler.
see my face when you said bring these gators?
Yeah, they're
I'm
bringing
what,
gator-
to fight the
to
bears.
get the elk? It would have been worth 60,000.
To fight the bears.
We shoot elk and then they bring gators in live.
Yeah,
Because
sorry.
besides the meat,
I'm
I needed
stupid.
some shoes.
Stupid.
I needed
Yeah.
some shoes and a belt.
That was easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Just standing there.
They're just sitting there. But it was really, it was amazing how they had the whole thing done. Like you didn't have to do that much work. If you shot something,
sure, yeah.
you were covered.
Well, I think that's any guided hunt,
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure that's true.
I mean,
I was talking to someone the other day, and they said they went on a hunt, and it was like in a reserve where it's not even a very big area. Like you're guaranteed to get something because you're basically hunting in something the size of your backyard.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know,
This doesn't seem very sporting.
No, and look, I'm not someone like I don't want to work a whole lot for it, right? But I also don't want it like not afraid of me, right?
Yeah.
like that
Just hanging out.
seems like something's wrong with that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very sporting. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. So I don't know. That's just me, but, you know.
And even if you're bow hunting, like I do kind of respect people that bow hunt. I feel like that takes more skill.
Do you remember Trent Barber?
Yeah.
He used to so he was really into calling in coyotes, right? So coyotes are our pest. They're overpopulated, especially in urban areas, stuff like that, right? Like they kill people's dogs and shit. Like,
Right.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Both of us live in areas where that is a problem, you know. And so anyways, so he found out, I guess, that you can obviously you can kill them anywhere, but you can shoot them with a bow in town. So he lived in Gilbert, right? And he would go to the lot behind his house because he saw a lot of coyotes out there. And at first, so he'd set up the varmint call. Do you know what that is?
No.
So it's like this thing that makes a sound like a rabbit dying.
But I do love the word varmint.
It sounds like someone screaming, kind of, right? It's like a little speaker. And then there's this thing that flops around. It looks like a rabbit got bit by a snake or something, you know? And so coyotes will just come running in. And so he had seen one a few times. And so he decides he's going to get it. So he takes his bow out because he can't shoot a gun because it's like the corner of a major
Because he's in his
intersection
neighborhood?
in Gilbert.
He's in a gas station parking lot.
And so he goes out there and he's like trying to hide behind some weeds. And he calls the coyote in. But when he stands up to shoot, the coyote sees him and runs off before he can get a shot off. And so he goes, he's telling me about this. He's like, well, I think that if I'm up higher, it won't see me. So he takes a ladder out there. And he's sitting on top of the ladder waiting to shoot it. And the coyote comes in, but as soon as the sun glares off the ladder, coyote runs away. And so he paints his ladder camouflage. I'm not
Jesus.
kidding.
I like his commitment. He's committed to the task.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Paints his ladder camouflage and finally pops this thing off in a lot back there. And then it was like his third coyote that he had gotten. And yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going to get the taxidermist to make me a coat. And I'm like, yeah, you can't sit next to me if you wear that in here.
A coyote coat?
Bro.
Is that a thing?
It was for Trent. Well, T-Barb.
That's crazy. Yeah, if you can't eat it, I don't have any interest in it.
No. I mean, again, like, I can see the point of you're saving people's pets as well.
Yeah,
you know?
I've heard the horror stories in the neighborhood and stuff.
Well, and I know people who have, I know plenty of people who have had their animal. I told you, I was worried when I got Fitz.
Well, he's tiny.
He's a little guy.
He's a little chicken nugget.
You got a little one too.
We have a little one.
You know, you just got a couple bigger ones that could probably scare off a coyote.
Yeah, yeah.
So as long as you don't let him out alone.
There's been people that have had coyotes attack in the neighborhood, right?
Not in our little neighborhood, but in the outer neighborhood, yeah. And your dog's got
What Trent was in the middle of Gilbert. I mean,
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
my neighborhood, I get it too, because like I'm in the Orange Grove, and so there's a lot of wildlife. There's hawks and also, and Fitz has taken his life in his own hands when he goes outside.
He's so little. Yeah, the little tiny dogs are fucking scary, man.
Yeah, he's a few pounds smaller than your little guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My dog's ferocious. Like I feel like he'd be a tough out even at his size.
Well, Fitz is kind of a pussy too.
Yeah.
So he's very passive.
Yeah,
Which makes him great. He's a very sweet dog, a little
but he's coyote bait.
burrower and very snuggly, but like, or hawk bait.
Well, yeah, we've got, the thing with us is the gray owls in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
and they're fucking gigantic.
I told you, I've heard one like up because I got a giant pine tree and I don't know if it's in that or in one of the other big trees in my backyard. And like he's out there and I can hear, whoo, and I'm like, oh shit, better go out there with him.
Yeah.
But
they would pick him up and not even slow down.
I don't want to fight an owl.
No, dude, they would pick him up without even slowing down.
Yeah.
But those things are like 3 feet tall.
Yeah. Might need to grow out my toenails.
And
Just so the talons are on the same level.
Be able to fight back.
Yeah.
Just lay on your back. I'd make it more sporting. I think the owl would fuck you up if that's what you
it
tried
would
to do.
fucking destroy me. Yeah.
I had an owl zip by me in my backyard one time, and I literally thought someone threw a football or something. It was so quiet, but it was probably 2 feet above my head, and it was scooting. And then I realized what it was. Those are big, dude.
They're big birds.
It's big, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to fight a pigeon, let alone like birds are just kind of scary. Like they have skills that I don't, because they can walk just like me,
Right?
But then they can fly, right? And that's
an advantage.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, I was watching
If I can fly, then maybe. But even then, I'd still need to grow the toenails.
Yeah, then you still got to grow the toenails out. I was just watching a documentary on eagles, and what they'll do is just pick up animals and then just fly up high and drop them on rocks.
That's intense.
They just tenderize them.
Yeah.
And they showed it like they're just picking
That's
up
hardcore.
They're just picking up like baby goats and just dropping it down these rocks.
I've seen that shit. They drop it like down the cliff.
Yeah, they just fuck the thing up.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
fucking awesome.
It's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Those things are giant too.
Yeah.
There's a golden eagle I saw a picture of, and it looked like a fucking
Kat, could we try to find a video of that? Hit escape, and then go to YouTube.
Oh, we're gonna use our first video search.
Try to find a video of a
eagle dropping goats on a mountain.
like a bird dropping a goat down a mountain. It's intense.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find it. Cats are Jamie.
I like that we're using our video capabilities.
Yeah.
Off cliff, you got it. It just came up. I saw it. Hold on. Just go back to, okay, yeah. Any of that's going to work. There you go.
Right there,
Off
there.
cliff.
Up.
Right in the search, top of the search. There you go.
Let's see this.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see that shit?
Look at, oh my God.
Holy shit.
Is that real?
Here, we'll open it up. You got to click on it.
Attacks. Oh, that was badass.
We can't miss out on this.
That's it. There you go.
Click dismiss on the YouTube thing. Thank you, Kat.
Look at it just picking up a fucking goat. I mean, how much is that thing just whipping it off the edge?
Yeah. How badass is that? See, I told you, like, as much as I love
Oh, dude.
much as I love my dog,
Oh my God.
I can't compete with that until I can fly.
Dude.
Then I outweigh it.
It just whipped that thing off the fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's
dude.
intense.
Like, it's not scary enough that goat lives on a mountainside.
What
You
are
got to
we
worry
watching
about,
next?
You got to work about an eagle.
It's Mercy. Fuck yeah.
America. No, it says America.
America. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry.
Did she not like the eagle video? Is that why she left?
I don't know.
You can't just leave the video running, hun.
That's fine. She's out there now. I don't know if she hated that, but
Dude, that's rough.
yeah. That was intense though.
Just one-armed that goat and whipped it to its death
Oh, yeah, the eagle just picked up a fish or something.
on the fly.
Yeah, good for it.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That was really cool.
All right, I think that we're about ready to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, buddy.
Awesome.
I will talk to you later.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Appreciate it.